What's up? I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I think we have another semi-clone on our hands. Take a look at this disc, just the profile, so look at the stamp. What does it look like? Obviously the Kastaplast Tuff, the new disc from Kastaplast, which I think is gonna be really good. It is in the K3 hard plastic here, or K3 line, excuse me, not hard, which is actually perfect because I have, unfortunately it's the exact same color, a banana butt Pa-3, which is very similar looking disc, though not identical. Not as identical as I initially thought they were. But as you can see, very, very similar. This one may be a little slimmer in the hand, also slightly wider diameter. From what I have heard from the ex-prodigy himself, Gannon Burr, the Pa-3 is actually slightly smaller diameter than what would be approved today. So most putters, if you put them up against the Pa-3, you can see a little bit of the other putter on the top, which is why the P2X from Gannon Burr is a little bit bigger than this, which is why I switched to Pa-3s from P2Xs. And why the Tuff also feels a little bigger. It does feel slightly shallower than the Pa-3, which I do like a lot. And I like how small the Pa-3 is, mostly for putting for me because my hands are relatively small. I'm a small dude, 5'6". So I get much closer to the center with these fingers when I'm putting than any other putter on the market. Just a little more room there, and that more room away from the center. I don't exactly know the specific physics for terms of quick battery change, and then I needed to find some shade because my camera was overheating because it is 92 degrees outside right now. But I don't know if it's centripetal force, centrifugal force, angular momentum, whatever it is, but me having my fingers closer to the center feels more confident to putt. I feel like I have more control over the disc than something like this, which I think for most people who are any bigger than me, disc size and hand feel isn't as big of a factor, especially for like putting or even like throwing drivers. I realized I'm really most comfortable with 11 speeds or smaller 12 speeds because any bigger and I just feel like I lose some control because of how tiny these little digis are. That being said, today we're going to play with the Kastaplast Tuff, the new release, 3402, and see how it compares to the Pa-3. If anything, it seems like slightly bigger bead, slightly more round, and slightly shallower and a little wider. I'm going to be throwing the Pa-3 a couple times against these two, but I'm at a course here, Frontera, where there's a blue and red baskets. We played here a couple days ago for the Vessel review, and we're going to play the full 18 holes in just 9 holes. Because I'm going to throw one of these, shout out Infinitus for sending me each of these, snag your Kastaplast Tuff and all your other discs for the best prices on infinitus.com. And we're going to play to both baskets at the same time. But first, let's see how they putt. For reference, here's my Pa-3. Good reference putt. These are the Tuffs. Whoa. I did feel a little more travel going up. There's a little more air under it. A little more glide. They do seem to be touch glide here on the putter department, even through one putt. We'll find out through the whole round. Whoa. Wow, I cannot believe I do feel a difference. I didn't think I'd feel that much of a difference, but I think whatever that force is that I don't know, because I have more control towards the center of these, this outside doesn't feel as heavy as it does on these, and they're all the same weight. That being said, likely making a mountain out of a molehill with that so far, but I have 2 stipulations as to how you guys can get one of these discs. First, if by the time this video is out, I'm not at 50K subscribers, these will be added to the 50K subscriber giveaway, or 1 max. I'll keep the other one for myself. If I either 1, can't hit metal at all, cage and up, off of a tee shot, since I'm throwing both of these first time to each of the baskets, we're counting it as a real ace if it goes in. That includes the Pa-3 because I will throw it on 9 holes. I'm going to throw it, I'll alternate between the short and the long so I can compare it against the Tuffs. Or if on the 18 holes that I'm playing out the Tuffs, which includes putting and everything, if I can't shoot 10 down or better. Those are the ways. That means I have to get 1 birdie per tee pad, and I have to get 2 birdies at least once. And I have to get a star frame at least once. With the Tuffs, we have 186 feet and 240 feet to get started with a left-to-right wind. We'll see how they fly. Camera overheated from too much yapping again, so I'm gonna have to shut up a little more and throw some frisbees so that this doesn't keep happening. But what I was saying is that the bead feels like it's closer to the middle of the disc than it does on this, which reminds me more of an approach disc than a putter. That being said, we'll see how they fly. Ace first shot ever? No, it's way too glidey. Wow, that was to the blue. And it's kind of right in between both of them. Go. There we go. Wow, that thing glides really well. We'll throw this one to the blue as well. I think that same shot doesn't glide quite as much, and I think it is a little dumpier, but we do have a left-right wind. False, it's a headwind, and that's so bad. That is so bad. I will say, throwing the Pa-3, I have one in the bag, and I've done it a bit, but it's not my favorite throwing putter in the world. I wonder if I will like the Tuffs more, because the Pa-3, on the rim, it's like rounded a touch internally, like concavely rounded. And sometimes I feel like my fingers grip on it, similar to that shot, if I'm not too careful about my release. I don't think I'll have that same problem with these Kastaplast Tuffs, because they seem to be flatter and a little shallower. But I guess we'll find out. Circle 2 for the first Tuff, then pretty parked at the red basket. Ooh, there's some stability. Right to left wind, I thought I'd carry it more, but it's not gonna glide itself. There we go. Little wobblecopter, but one down through 2. Also, I do know that the Pa-3 is not like the only beaded putter out there, but I do think it's likely one of the best, and it's the one that I have the most knowledge with. And I also think it is most similar to these, because the edge looks to be like trying to replicate something similar to a Pa-3, not quite as rounded over as like a KC Pro AVR or a Judge. It seems to be kind of like blocky flat, a touch of shoulder, and then flat, which seems to be more Pa-3-esque from the Tuff. That being said, 180 and then 240 around the corner. This 240 is gonna be a nice soft turnover. There is not quite OB. I actually realized earlier when I filmed the other video here that it's hazard out here, not OB. So you have to play where it lies, which could really stink if I shank it really bad. But straight ahead, good opportunity to get some metal. Drop in there. Wow, so far. Sit. I think I almost just threw that OB. These putters are very glidey. Holy cow. All right. That'll help the turnover. Wow, that was kind of surprising. No way, that's OB. Wow, I am not, these are so glidey. Holy cow, here's the Pa-3. Wow, I guess I'm not used to a super glidey putter anymore. Huh. Pa-3 I think is, yeah, it might not even be more stable, just not as glidey, because both of those, I didn't think that I juiced them that much. And we have a left to right, and it's still, they're gone. Wow. I need to make both these putts stay on pace. Otherwise, I'll be one over on this hole, and then I'll need a couple star frames. Stay up. Oh, I thought I made it, but it just didn't lift. Next hole should be a star frame though. Both under 200 feet, straight shots. I actually have to make this though to stay under par for the round. This is where I wish it was out of bounds, because then I take it in from right there. Okay, definitely straighter on the putt than I anticipated. They're not like gliding out. They still have good putt stability, I think, because there was a right to left on both of those putts that could have moved them left, and they seem to stay pretty straight, which I do really like. This pretty much has to be the first star frame. 155 straight ahead, 186 over there. I have to try to get some metal though, just in case I don't shoot my 10 down. So, soft metal bids, instead of just jamming at it like I guess I've been doing the last couple holes. Woo. Standstill, double standstill. That's what these guys deserve. All right, there's a birdie. If it fades, it's good, but it's never gonna fade. Wow, that's so straight. Kind of hooked up a little at the end. I think the Pa-3 on that same first shot that I threw would be a little dumpier. So I threw a touch more ante, but it's still fighting out of it more than the first one. And it was more nose down, so that shows something. I think we figured out that they're a little glidier and a little less overstable than the Pa-3. And I did forget that I said the Pa-3 is here to alternate between them, but also can be a metal hit. I haven't even been thinking about that as I've been throwing it. Next hole is going to be hard. It's going to be like a 330-foot shot, which I think the Tuff will actually do really well, because it'll be a tail right to left, so I can just leave it high and flat, and it'll push and then get a slow fade. But I need to start utilizing this Pa-3 to get some aces or metal hits. Now that I've realized that it's similar to the Tuffs, but different enough. The Tuff, honestly, maybe should have brought out a P2X, because it really reminds me of that. But the bead is a little more, ooh, this is farther than I thought. The bead is a little more pushed into the disc, and it seems a little shallower than the P2X, but not by a ton.
Okay, before that putt, let's actually check this out. I got a P2X chilling on the ground over here because I made the putt in the basket. Freaking spit it out. That was crazy. I didn't miss the putt. Tuff P2X. Yeah, P2X definitely seems to have the same exact edge as the PA3, just a little wider diameter. The Tuff does seem to be ever so slightly rounder. If the Sonar takes the PA3 edge and like takes it to the extreme, super blocky, angular guy right there, then this kind of does the opposite, where it smooths it over and rounds it a bit. I guess while we're here, we can also take a look at the Kratos, which is like way rounder, and the bead is even more pushed inside than the Tuff. The Link, a little kind of blockier and wider feeling, and a little deeper as well. The Judge is actually, I thought this was going to be more different. You know what? This might be closest to a Judge. Man, it's a bigger bead than the Judge is. But I thought it was going after PA3 market, because most companies are. The Judge does feel rounder though, so the feel is more PA3-ish. Even if the edge looks more like a Judge, I wonder if it's because the shoulder of the Judge is a little more like that. Okay, I'm glad I'm not going crazy. It does feel more PA3-esque. This is the Climo Discs Prototype Champ, which is basically their take on a KC Pro AVR, which is definitely deeper, bigger shoulder, a little different. So I would say the Tuff is in that PA3 category more so than the Judge and Champ category, but maybe I'm still only putting the Judge in that category because I put it in there earlier. But that being said, this P2X does feel a little bit bigger diameter even than the Tuff, and the Tuff is a little bit bigger than the PA3, but that's a real quick interjection there with all the beaded putters that I have. Real fast, let's see if we can drain this guy next to the heater. Counts off the wall. It doesn't count. Counts off the wall. Okay, getting to the Judge to finally make one. Sony. Ooh, that's clean. We're dialing it in. Never mind. We're back to the video.
Thought that was too low. Headwind kept it up. 3 down through 6 holes. Close to the pace I need. All right, we got 258 to the blue, 330 to the red out there. Mostly a tailwind, maybe a touch of a right to left as well. Turn over to the blue, juice it to the red. That might be like 60 long again. I thought that was really good, but I guess that was the ace run. Ay, ay, ay. That's really good. Oh, that's just based. That is a very good throwing putter. It's in K3. I wonder what it'd be like in K1. Probably a little more overstable, but that was very smooth, very easy to throw. I much prefer throwing the Tuff to the PA3, but I still prefer putting the PA3. I get much cleaner releases with the Tuff. The long Tuff is maybe 15 feet long still, but right in line, probably just barely missed hitting the pole on the way through. This one is about 40 long. Again, every single short shot, except for the last one where I threw standstill, it's been circled too long. Maybe I haven't made them because I haven't stepped them. I thought I was going to be so celebratory. I figured it out, and then it dropped at the last second, and it's a par. I wasn't expecting it to be so much more heavily skewed to most of my good shots going to the long baskets. 4 down through 8. Not bad. Got a left to right wind, actually pretty heavy. You can see it in the tree yonder. 170 to the short, 236 to the long. PA3 is going to the short, and this is a great hole. This hole and the next hole, I think, are the 2 best holes to get some metal coming down the stretch, just to hedge against me shooting 10 under. But at this point, it's also a great, hey, what's going on? Great set of holes for me to get some more star frames. So I might try to just really focus on the PA3 being the metal guy and getting some birdies with these. Swing left. I think that barely made it back in bounds. That was really fluffy. There's OB on that path and it curves that way. I might be in the hazard. That might be the worst thing that could have happened. All right. That's got to sit. And it did. Okay, wow. This might be like not only not a star frame, but it might be a friggin' over par frame. All right, to the short with the Pa-3. A little more hyzer to try to get the ace run, but that does bring an OB. Stay up. Weak sauce. Just being a little baby boy. Well, bad news. That definitely looks to be hazard. I guess good news, bad news. If I make both of these putts, I still shoot 1 under for this hole, or this set of holes. Even par's not bad, but that really ups the difficulty coming down the stretch. All right, that was really close to too high. Didn't want to scream too much, even though there's nobody around. And I scream every single video. The only thing here is that I could putt this one OB, and that would really not be good. Okay, tailwind. This one can be high. Just don't think about that. 1 under for these bad boys. Stand still for both of them. Right to left wind. Come on, shorty. That could do it. Stay up. How did that first one not go in the basket? I didn't have any words. Come on, Pa-3. Didn't even tickle the metal? Come on. Drop, 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 drop. Ah! Should be a star frame though. Both of the Tuffs are absolutely parked. I think if you're on Kastaplast, this is what the majority of pros should be putting. In my super biased opinion, that's basically based on what I like to put and telling other people what to do. But I will say, I could definitely see myself putting these. They are definitely glidier than the Pa-3s, so sometimes is nice. I think they are smaller feeling than the P2Xs. Not by like an insane factor, but they don't feel to me as mid-rangey as the P2Xs did. They definitely feel more puttery. And the P2Xs feel like putters, but they feel like mid-rangey putters. These feel like puttery putters. And that is the insight that you get on Bonanza Disc Golf. Thank you for 50,000 subscribers. Shorty's like 210 and the long one's 280 or something. Right to left wind, so the wind can help push them into the baskets. And I don't think they'll really flip hard in it. Sit down. Oh no. Oh, that was bad. Well, I'm still doing it. I trust myself. Touch a turnover, right at it. Just don't go long, be smooth. That's so good. Go in. I hit the metal. That was inches. Oh, these things fly so nice. I hit metal, so I don't need to worry about 10 down, especially because that skipped off the thing and went super OB. So, wow, that's crazy. That was so pretty. Wow, man, I can't believe how close that got. This is not the hole, especially throwing that line that I expected to hit metal, but here we are. The discs are saved. Still got to shoot 10 down, though, for my pride, which is not going to be easy, because I think both of them are like 40 feet away, and one of them is in hazard. Don't normally need to reposition the camera. All right, tailwind. Oh, don't bogey this, dude. Got to make this one to stay at 7 under. I think I am just outside the circle here. All right, 6 under. And me, I need to get all 4 of these to get to 10. But I hit the metal, so it doesn't matter. But hitting the metal is way cooler than shooting 10 under anyways. 183 to the blue, 234 to the red. I think I will try a forehand at the blue. Well, easy birdie. Oh, we'll try it at the red too. Why not? We're going crazy. Come on. Sit. Should be 2 birdies. PH race. Too stable. That was not good. Here's the thing that I didn't think about. If I make this putt like this, and then ace one of the next 2 holes, that's 10 under. So who even cares about birdies? Ace time. You know what I'll say? Like most discs, do we need another one of these kind of things? No. Is it cool that it's out there? Sure. Maybe it'll cause innovation at some point. Maybe it's just brand loyalty. I don't know. I don't make discs. I review them, and a lot of them are similar. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I think for people who just go out and buy everything, maybe stick to less discs and put more money other places. I don't know. I don't see a problem with it. There's just so many of very similar things. And everybody is kind of spread out on a bunch of different teams right now because there's not a lot of money for pros in disc golf. So for the Kastaplast pros, this is a great disc to have because this is one of the best styles of putter, in my opinion, to throw and to putt with. And I think as a thrower, I would put this in my bag over the Pa-3 all day, every day. I still think I prefer the Pa-3 for putting, but this is a little shallower, which I do like. I just don't like how much bigger it feels, which maybe if this ever gets outlawed or is truly illegal, or maybe Gannon's just blowing smoke up my booty, like, I don't know. That being said, we got like 170 on the short, like 200 something on the long. Headwind. Long is gonna be a tricky turnover. So I'm hoping to just ace the short so I don't even have to worry about birdieing the long. You know what I mean? My camera overheated literally as the disc was fading into the basket. Except that's probably only what it looked like because it was like 3 feet short. But I could have played that off as an ace because that was really close. It should be a tap and birdie. So now I just need to make this nice turnover, which is why I'm sitting in the shade. Shout out that tree. Good guy. Yeah, I just need to birdie the red just to feel double good about myself that I hit metal and got to 10 under. There's a Mando that should be on that light pole. That's not anymore, but I still respect it. So I can't just throw the big wide hyzer because that's lame. Just kidding, I like big wide hyzers. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's a headwind, what the heck? Is the 2 nose up? Sit down. Oh, I thought it would turn more. But yeah, I'm gonna tap in that birdie and then hopefully make the birdie from over there, and then I'll be 10 under, and that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, please. Snag these on Infinite if you'd like. Also snag my jersey at Cardinal Disc Golf, and all my other links that support me are down in the description. If you don't want to buy more discs, maybe buy other things of mine. Or put your money in an emergency fund or your retirement accounts. Yes! Please don't have overheated, and if you didn't, goodbye. I love you. I will see you guys soon. Bye. Have a good one.